Zodiac killer case? Fact check. The Zodiac killer.
I want to report a double murder. If you go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway to the park, you will find kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Luger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye.
This telephone call, placed after the murder of Darlene Ferrin at Blue Rock Springs Park, was the first communication from the Zodiac killer. And this video is about, did the Zodiac killer ever lie in any of his calls or letters to the newspaper or police? So what we're going to do is fact check them. And keep in mind that we're looking for deliberate lies, not something that might have turned out to be false. And we also want to be able to prove that it's a lie, not just we believe it might be a lie. Now, the first written correspondence from the Zodiac killer was to the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Examiner, and the San Francisco Chronicle. He states several facts about David and Betty Lou's murder in December and the attack on the couple at Blue Rock Springs Park. Regarding David and Betty, he says that David was lying on his back with his feet to the car. And you can see in this photograph the pool of blood by David's head. And so that was accurate. And then Betty Lou Jensen was lying on her side the way he described. And as far as I know, the shell casings matched the type of ammo that the Zodiac stated that he used. So again, fact-checking the Zodiac, there's nothing dishonest in this communication. And his threat to go cruising and shoot some people if they didn't print the cipher on the front page is just an overstated possible threat. I don't see it as a lie or being dishonest. The next communication from the Zodiac killer was a week later when he replied to the Vallejo police chief about details of the crimes, both at Blue Rock Springs and at Lake Herman. He stated that Michael was thrashing about and he shot him in the knee and the car window was rolled down. And according to Michael's testimony, the Zodiac's description of what happened pretty much matches what Michael stated. And then the Zodiac writes about a black gentleman in his early 40s that might have noticed his car and that it was brown. Because when he hung up the phone rang immediately. And that has a ring of truth, because at that time, if you hung up on an emergency call like that, either it automatically rang the phone back or they pushed a button and it rang back the phone number. And then at Lake Herman Road, the Zodiac talks about the lighting and not being able to see, and he writes that he attached a small flashlight to his gun barrel so he could see. So fact-checking this Zodiac letter, I don't find anything that's inaccurate or untruthful. I almost forgot to include this message from the Zodiac killer, written on Brian Hartnell's car door. and it has the date of the murder, September 27th, 1969, at 6:30 p.m., and it has the 2 previous dates of the crimes. Now, the next letter from the Zodiac was on October 13th, after the murder of Paul Stine, and it included a piece of his bloody shirt to prove that he was the Zodiac. And in his letter, he states that he was in the park. And he says, "I think I shall wipe out a school bus some morning." And here, fact-checking this, I don't see anything that proves him wrong. And he was just threatening the school bus. He didn't guarantee that he was going to shoot up a school bus of kids. Now on November 8th, the Zodiac mailed this greeting card, dripping pen greeting card. And inside it was a communication and a cipher. And looking at this statement that he made,
I thought you would need a good laugh before you hear the bad news.
Now here might be the first possible lie from the Zodiac killer, in my opinion. It has the dates December, July, August, September, and October. But we're not aware of a murder that took place in August. And then the death count that the Zodiac uses, he puts 7. And at this time, it would have been 5. So, is that a lie? Or was there really 2 murders that took place in August that we're just not aware of? So is this fact-checked as inaccurate because the car door didn't list any crime in August? Or was there a particular reason that the Zodiac didn't include the August murders on the car door? And the cipher that was included with the card says, "I now have enough slaves to work for me." And most people believe that the Zodiac didn't kill any more people after Paul Stine, the cab driver in San Francisco. So this could be fact-checked as correct also. So I'm going to end this video on this "My name is" cipher and leave it up to you. Does this cipher reveal the true identity of the Zodiac killer? Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved. In the next Zodiac killer case, I might pick up where I left off in this video here. So I'll see you next weekend.